appears to be drag racing. They both suck. Maybe I should get out and use my spotlight. Ooh, it's an alien spaceship. Just kidding. Where the hell did I put my goddamn cane? Not the thing I was using to try to get privacy. Privacy. Well, I do because I gotta pee, but I have to pee right literally this very moment. What is that? There's something on the ground next to my door. Looks like a chunk of shit. Your lights are off!
He's just driving over there and coming back.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. It is a Saturday night. They'll probably be up acting like youngins most of the night. They are youngins, so we gotta come to expect some of that. Teenage angst and all that. As long as things don't get out of hand, I pretty well try to mind my business. If I do hear hooting and hollering and shouting, I do try to get out and make sure that it's not somebody being actually harmed. Most of the time it's just somebody joking around. They hang out in a group back there. When they're flashing their lights and all that, they're not necessarily being a pain in the ass to me. It's just obnoxious. It doesn't mean that they're hateful. Once in a while they do, there's a particular group of kids that, or youngins I should say, they're not necessarily kids, but they'll drive around my car a few times. By the time I get my camera up and running, they're usually done. And there's the random screaming out the window. Sometimes it's at me, sometimes it's at other people. A lot of youngins think it's funny to make a girl scream, but that's something just like hearing a baby crying, I'm going to pay attention. It is ingrained in my brain to protect those things. I say things because I'm treated as if, as a male, I objectify everything. I'm fully capable of that. I just don't think it's useful or worthwhile. Let's take the phone with me while I try to find something to eat. I got a big mess back here, and as long as I'm awake, I might as well try to get something productive done, even if it's just pushing my toilet paper over. Oh, good. I almost forgot I had... Every time I gotta blow my nose, I'm like, I should pull out the toilet paper, and I look back and it's inaccessible. Well, this time it's not inaccessible. I did pull out my light, so if somebody wanted to be a pain in the ass with their light, I could be a pain in the ass back. If they wanted to do the whole signal flare thing, I could signal them back. Here, honking. Yep, obviously not going to get to sleep in the next half hour. No. I hate losing things, but lucky for me, I now have a spotlight. Ugh. You know, there's probably enough stuff in here for me to make a test model of something. I could probably make, let me see how much stuff I have that I can use for a frame. I've actually got quite a bit in here. I might be able to use an umbrella at the front and an umbrella at the back. And then use a couple of floaties and some streamers. And that could work. I also have a couple of canes in here and a couple of crutches that could be used for structural framing members. And then, I guess to help maintain its shape, I could probably fill up a couple of garbage bags with air from the air blowers that I have. Tie it off real good. I could probably work on turning one of them umbrellas into a sail of sorts. I guess the honking just got to a point that it was a lot of honking and a lot of flashing of the lights. Oh. Looks like Chris might be here. Maybe I'll go say hello to him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's shit. Here's my door. Shit, there's my car. Pleasant. Alright. Oh, it's too late. It's 10:15. I'm gonna give Chris the raspberry. Boy, somebody left me a bunch of winners. Woohoo! Ketamine is nasty.
Yeah, it is. It's just sketch.
I tried telling on some bad cops in Boulder, Colorado. They sent me to a hospital in a different jurisdiction and had me injected with ketamine.
Oh my goodness.
Whew. That's a bad idea.
Goddamn.
That's how they're trying to treat depression in Colorado.
Is it really?
That and mushrooms.
I know they're doing mushrooms around here now again.
It's one of the strongest ones.
It doesn't work as well as people say it does. For some people, it does work. It's kind of like other medications.
Everyone's different, though, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I could educate everyone about that. Have a good night, man.
You too, will do.
I can't
Alright. Oh, it's cool. That looks glow in the dark. No. But it's a bushy, so it's useful. Very cool. Alright. Almost done raided all the ice creams. That helped prevent me from oh wow. What's this? ResMed SML Swift FX nasal pillow system. Woohoo! And it's already used. Oh my god, that is so cool. Very cool. I wonder what's this. Oh, it's unopened. Oh my god, I was wrong. What's in the tube? There's your other scratch. There's the nosy thingy. Oh, cool. Maybe I'll read this and learn new stuff. All right. One man's trash is another treasure. One thing I did notice is that if people don't see my phone clearly visible, but they hear me talking or see me talking, they generally just assume I'm nuts. That's alright. Most people assume I'm nuts anyway. There was a quarter on top of one of these parking things here. And it looks like someone finally picked it off of there. I don't know if it was glued on or what, but it was there for probably, I don't know, probably about a week and a half. Long enough that I assumed it was probably glued down. Anyway, everything's closed down for the night on this end, so I gotta go up to, I believe, Center Market for dinner. And of course, that's not too bad a place to go. The folks who work there are generally pretty pleasant to me. They don't generally talk down to me or talk to me like I'm an animal or like I'm some sort of a freak for existing. All right. Chris, I'm leaving you for another laundromat.
What?
I said, Chris, I'm leaving you for another laundromat.
You're doing what?
I'm leaving you for another laundromat.
Why?
I just figured that was the most hurtful thing I could say at this point in time.
You're not gonna call me a hippie or something?
No, that was mean enough the first time. Those hippies don't deserve that.
Could you imagine if I was in a hippie colony? Fucking orgies all fucking day.
Seriously? You make
No.
it sound like you're hanging out with a bunch of sea monkeys.
I'm not gonna stand here with the door open. You wanna come in?
Sure. I was gonna go to Center Market and check out my new nasal blower thingy. It's pretty cool. I found it.
What was it?
It's this thing. It's for people who don't breathe none too good. It's like a little mask, but it plugs into your nose like a Super Nintendo.
It's called a.
Not that I ever plugged a Super Nintendo into my nose.
It's like a respirator thing.
Yep. I found it. I didn't know such a thing exists, so I figured while I found the package and it's got stuff in it, I'll learn how it works and get myself slightly more educated. Don't tell my mother.
I wasn't looking at you. Huh? It's my bad. So. Huh? Someday I won't be able to walk.
You got degenerative disc disease?
Huh?
I
You
got
got
bad.
degenerative disc disease?
No, so I have a 22% curvature of my spine and my lower spine. Like yeah, it's
Like scoliosis?
yeah, it's scoliosis is what it is. But at 19%, you can become paralyzed. So I get this bad fucking shit from it. Supposed to go to the doctor for it.
Yeah, well,
That's what they say.
putting injections in the back and stuff like that.
I don't do injections.
For me, they want to.
I do that myself.
They want to put
I'm
rods
a doctor
in.
for that shit.
That was almost funny. They wanted to put rods in me or cement.
Cement?
Yeah. You ever hear of putting
You're gonna
cement
eat
in
it?
someone's back? No, I'm not gonna let them put cement in me. My friend Molly got My friend Molly got cement put in, and it turned out she was allergic to it, and it didn't do nothing good to her.
Yeah, that's not good. I have garbage bags
I do.
for you, babe.
What's a bab?
Huh?
What's a bab?
Look at her.
My mommy.
Oh, her name's Beb?
Yeah.
Oh,
Her name is Mommy Terry. That's my mom.
Yeah, and if you
I'm
said it
fucking-
formally, it would be Mother Teresa.
Oh, I call her mother too. Mother. That's how I say it.
Tell your children not to walk my way,
There you go.
not to sing, not to play, Mother.
It's cookies. You end up back fighting on all whatever called circle.
Cat. Hard. Like, good now.
Oh, shit. Cookie.
You remember when that guy came to the door and I said, oh, it's Quagmire.
Yeah. It's a weirdo.
He ratted us out to his mommy.
Hey, when you turn 18? Not that I've ever heard of Quagmire.
It was funny. But I didn't think it was very funny. You had like something nice?
I do. It's pizza.
There's only one shoe. Bummer. Those are nice shoes.
Prettier than mine. But these ones don't have a bunch of holes in them. Oh, I guess they do.
Is this mine here? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Over what?
These machines are washing a lot better.
What makes you think they're washing better?
I don't know. I cleaned them or something inside.
Literally. So after the top half quarter, come on, let's go. So she was at washer number 6. Over pickup place. And then she wasn't here for a week. Notice as a that's not something.
So I'm not supposed to do that.
What are you doing?
That looks like the doors can go.
Yeah, I cleaned that thing. First time in ever.
What? You cleaned it.
Yeah. There's this little like half circle thing behind the and cleaned out all the stuff.
I wipe it.
Sometimes it's not good. Sean,
Did you just say you like the way I twerk it?
yeah.
You know, you say like, twerk it on my waist. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I shouldn't be allowed to speak, especially not publicly.
I've been taught quite a few different things in the last few years.
I watched a little boy twerk in my fucking living room. My son's friend. And I'll tell you what, it was disturbing.
Yeah, there's a
He was
reason.
disturbingly good at it too.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's probably a reason why.
You go to weddings in Nebraska, you'll notice that people's grandmothers and little kids that barely know how to speak, all girls, out on the dance floor, not only shaking it like a Polaroid picture, but mouthing the words to the entire song of Sir Mix-a-Lot like Big Butts.
I know that whole
I'm like,
song.
oh my God, how does Grandma know that song?
Because it's awesome, it's Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Is that like a women's anthem in America now?
No. It's old.
I know it's old, and thank you very much for making me feel like a fossil.
How old are
Okay,
you?
I bump it in my car all
42.
the time.
42 though?
You know, I just look crusty because I've been on the streets too long. Oh, I did talk to Will Chappell of the Tillamook Herald on Monday.
Yeah?
Tell me.
What are you gonna tell him?
So I'm going to tell him about Natalie's death and about how I get treated here in Tillamook and how homeless people are treated in general and about how Portland's idea of putting people on buses, there's lots of places that already do that. All they do is send people on buses to other places, to buses to go somewhere else, who puts them on a bus to go somewhere else. It never gets the problem solved.
I remember sitting in the courtroom and that DA with that little mustache that's all curled up around him.
Yeah.
When he turned around, was looking at us, and then he turned back and talked to the other guy and said something about Utah having the right idea of these camps. Where did Dwayne and Tabby just move to? Utah.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
They've been lighting them on fire here in Oregon.
Utah, when?
15
They went
homeless
from-
camps last year lit on fire.
Rachel from Tennessee to Utah, and apparently they're moving there too.
I didn't know that they moved her to Utah.
Why, what's he telling you? See, that's more.
We went to, and we're visiting her.
We're supposed to move her. And he, and so this moving truck,
I was too busy trying to tear the wall.
Way down in Tweakerville, I shouldn't have said that, it's mean.
I don't
Oh,
take
it
offense
was.
to it. Just check it out, I'm not a tinker, I'm a tinkerer. And, yeah, I was trying to find the treasure.
I'm a tinkerer and I don't have to mess with nothing to tinker, but I did notice that if I do mess with something, then I end up not tinkering properly and stuff gets broke, so it's best for me not to mess around and just to tinker with stuff while I'm sober.
I like to fix stuff.
Oh my God, there's this race in New York. If we gamble on that, we could make a lot of money. How good are you at fixing things?
Depending on what it is,
Chuck gives you the tool, but you borrow the tool.
I steal it at this point.
I got a whole car full of tools. The problem is I don't have first floor access. I'm almost out of money for the month already, so hopefully I'll be able to get storage. Because the car is expensive, living in it's expensive, I gotta make sure that I maintain my bills, like my telephone and of course the insurance and things of that nature. Plus I gotta make sure I set some
Insurance.
$67 a month, which ain't too bad.
Is it online?
And then of course usually at the beginning of the month I'm out of gas, so I have to get some of
I
that.
think. It's the.
Like $40 right off the bat.
That's what I have.
And then all the other legal crap, like last month, most of my money went to trying to get the vehicle legal with plates and everything. And the month before that, it was about trying to fix parts that were busted on it. And the month before that, I had to replace the two front tires because they were bald enough that the tread was coming out.
I got a sweet.
Thank you for the
She's
pizza.
squirrel.
I gotta keep on this one, not to tell you.
Then youngins kept flashing their lights at me, so I got one of these.
Oh, that's kinda cool.
You need garbage bag?
Yes, please. Out of that oven.
This magnifying glass makes cracks bigger.
Seriously, only rings one time on my end, and then goes to one.
It's terrible. I don't know why.
It's annoying as well.
Did you ever get the big one?
I got part of one.
That's mine. I lost it.
You can have it.
I'm taking it.
Go for it. It's all you, homie.
Excuse me.
Anyway, I was gonna tell you all that there's coffee at the center market, so as sweet as you are, I'm leaving.
What about Center Market?
I'm going there to get some coffee. I wasn't trying to make y'all feel like you're not cool or anything.
I'm kidding.
Do you go to the one on Main Street?
Yes, ma'am. Is that the one here on the 101?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's in trouble with something. He was talking to one of his buddies, and his buddy told him he needed to get a new lawyer. He's mean. That guy's mean. That's dark. I would.
Oh, I made him laugh.
I'm mean. You should see me on the internet. People mess with my family. I can pretend to be scary. I guess I'm just
I
pretending.
got that guy laughing in there. Mom, he fucking told me a casino, and before I got it, I was like, it's not old, it's not all hard and whatnot. And he was like, oh, no, you know.
Is that the really nice one or the quiet one?
He don't really say much, but he's got evil eyes.
Ah.
Anyways,
A little dark eye.
check it out. It's
And that
opposite
the
day.
Hispanic lady at the other one is really super nice too.
They've gotten better.
Yes, that lady is very nice.
Not always.
The Mexican lady?
That's not always nice.
Who, the young girls?
Neither of them. They're not
Oh,
always.
there's
I
two
don't
of them?
go to those ones. I go to Bay City one because they're my homies.
That guy's really nice.
That guy and then the other older guy that used to work there, they're my homie too.
He was nice too.
Hell, Chuck and I just almost ran a guy over and yeah, the drunk guy who got a fucking 40 snacks over him. So then he was coming out my car and I was like, better watch out, fool.
You know what Dan said? That was JB's where he lives. That kid. His uncle. Was that would make him her cautious brother?
I don't know.
Said, huh?
I don't know who he is.
I was under the understanding her brother is got a register.
Well, I know that he was like, hey, Chucky, and then goes, want to hang out with your stick out?
What?
Yeah,
There's
that's
about-
exactly what he said. And I fucking looked at him, I was like, hey, dude, leave him alone. That's all I said. And then he wanted to call me a crackhead and shit. So I went off. I told him, just go walk into the highway. Nobody will miss you. Go.
On the registry here in this state, there's over 1,700 people who are registered. There's also 31,000 unregistered sex offenders in this state that don't have to register because they're not considered high risk for repeat offending.
No,
But yet my
every
daughter-in-law.
sex offender has to register. in
That
the
is
state.
not true. I looked it up on their actual site.
You're absolutely wrong. Every sex offender has to
Yeah, but
register.
my
No matter if you're 1, 2, or 3. They can only post
You're right.
level 3.
You're right. You are absolutely right. That's why there's 31,000 of them that are not posted, and there's only 1,700 that are, like 33,000. So I mean,
Well, like if somebody decides not to go in there and register, that's their own fault.
Like they have a warrant to arrest.
Yeah.
That's not because the state of Oregon is not upholding the law. Look at Tommy Bruce, he goes to jail every other year for failure to register.
I wasn't saying anything about them fault. What? No, I actually was. You're correct.
So I was asking, and somebody said that they heard it was Kenny Mallory's little girl.
What? You're kidding.
See, other people have heard it.
Well, same thing in Chapel, Nebraska with Kenneth Direct.
Quite often.
In small towns, everybody already knows. They just don't
Oh.
do anything or say anything.
Oh! What, are you selling her?
No.
Check it out. I think Kenny molests his children anyway.
Ted Bollinger molested his.
I fucking will be the first person. I'll be the only person to stand up and say that. I don't care.
You should look at my website. I am a well-hated person because I
Me
stand
too.
up for them
Locally
nasty
hated.
bastards. I don't like pedophiles. I don't like rapists. I don't like people who take advantage of people that are easy to take
I don't
advantage
like,
of.
exactly. I don't like some fucking weirdos being fucking creepy. And
I'm a creepy weirdo, but not like that.
not like that, exactly. There's a difference.
That's right. I'm nuttier than squirrel turds, but I'm
Me
not after
too.
your beanstalk. That didn't sound right.
I'm right there with you though.
If I don't get down there, I'll never get that coffee. And if I never get that coffee, I'll be complaining because I didn't come here to eat pizza. I came here to make fun of Chris and leave her.
But you ate pizza anyway. Thank you.
I did. Well, thank you for feeding me.
Absolutely. I like doing that.
I noticed. So I get to, did I tell you I get to talk to the newspaper people on Monday?
That's what you were just saying. That's awesome.
Absolutely. I'm hoping this time they actually do something other than slander my name.
I hope so too.
I got evidence.
Is it Jordan Wolf that you're gonna go talk to?
No, I'm going to talk to Will Chappell.
Okay.
I was reading a couple of the articles that he had written about the corruption here, and I went, well, he might have some intestinal fortitude.
Right. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I hope it goes in your favor, honestly, because there's a lot of that shit that goes on. It's a lot everywhere, but here it's just like,
Well, I've been to jail 8 times and to prison once for telling on pedophiles, child molesters, and child abusers. Not only that, out of all those times that I was sent to jail and or prison, I was never convicted. Ever.
what?
Yeah, it's no joke. Chapel, Nebraska, on 11 different occasions, they pressed false charges against me and locked me up for trying to turn in my predators in Chapel, Nebraska.
That is fucking.
It is, but I got a penis and I'm homeless. It's all about reputation, small towns.
You know, it's so true.
And of course, then they also do the, oh, well, you know, you just couldn't take no for an answer because you couldn't get laid. You probably got a small dick. I'm like, I do have a small dick. You wouldn't see it? Oh my God, he's trying to expose himself. No, I just figure if you want verification. And that's what I ask for from people. I don't want people to just take my word for it. If people are going to accuse me of something, I want to see the proof.
Right? Exactly.
But I'm not from Missouri, so I'm not allowed to say, show me.
Huh.
If a guy says that, it's perversion, not, hey, show me the evidence. It's, oh my God, he's saying something else.
Messages to myself. Messages I was telling you about. Yeah. Maybe I'll leak them to you.
You should look at what I do on my channel. I expose
might
sex
keep it.
offenders and rapists and child abusers. This isn't a joke. I curse and yell and
Hey,
shout.
I have shit that is no joke either. I might leak it to you. Let me think about it, okay?
You can do that.
But it can't, the source can't, I can't, I'll go missing.
Yeah, I'm here
not
because
kidding.
I went missing.
No, I will go missing if this person knew that I did that, okay? So,
Well, I have recording equipment in my vehicle, I have computers, I have a bunch of evidence of other stuff in this town in my vehicle. I've got enough to take down at least 4 of the cops here.
sex trafficking shit and all that.
You're right.
I'm not kidding,
I've got at least 6 other witnesses recorded. I just have to have, if this guy at the newspaper will listen, 6 other people in this town talking about the human trafficking and also police involvement. Yeah, everybody knows. Just like everybody knows when there's a child molester having sex with a little kid.
They're all too scared to do anything.
Yeah, that's why it's a good thing there's outsiders that have more balls than brains.
I'm not an outsider,
I am.
have more balls.
You know,
Everybody here.
if that happens,
Like my dick would be bigger than everybody.
Everybody's solution, they always want to tell me, well, somebody ought to kill him, somebody ought to kill him. I tell them, you know what, you only kill 1 or 2 before they catch you. And then you deprive your family of that income and that love and attention. But you can turn in hundreds. Do what?
They just don't have the right to still have to take care of it.
That's true.
How do you know? You know you meet 6 serial killers a year?
Probably. Hell, I might be one.
People pretend I'm a serial killer and still I haven't left any, well, all right, I've left a lot of corpses in my wake, but I didn't make any of those corpses.
Right?
The cops killed some of my friends committed suicide, some of them overdosed.
That's sad.
Yeah, don't give an addict housing right away. Let them ease into it so that they don't just, oh my God, I've got a place to shoot up and not have to be afraid of the cops coming around the bush.
Right.
And then the next morning you realize their eyes are
when
gray.
you say that. I really do.
Yeah,
I have the person I care about very much, and they shoot up, and I worry that they're gonna kill themselves every fucking day.
if it's not overdosing, it'll be an abscess or an infection.
Yeah.
it's gonna be broke.
Hi.
All right, I've said I'm leaving like 10 times, but I keep coming back for attention.
All right, I will get back to you on those.
Yes, ma'am. Well, let me know before you telling me anything super important. Most of the time I record for my own safety. If I know that it's something super important that people need to keep secret, I make sure that I record it on a clandestine audio device.
You can't record me. Give
At
it
all.
to you.
Well, that's
I will
the,
literally just send it.
that's the whole
send,
reason
like-
for letting me know ahead of time.
Yeah, I'll literally just send it to you, or like somehow where my name doesn't get included in the deal.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I will go missing.
If you see a situation where I'm talking to Christian, usually when he comes up to my car, because he's peed on it a couple of times, I usually start recording. So if you see him around my vehicle, I probably am recording.
It's okay. Like
if-
normally I wouldn't care on it, like I wouldn't care any other time, but if I
I
give
know
you.
you told me the last time you didn't care if you were recorded, and if it was
Yeah, but
important,
if
you'd
I
let
give
me
you
know.
what I have right here, like,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
can't be.
You
That's,
I can write my information down, my email and stuff like that, so that you can send stuff that way, and I can also write down my phone. You have my phone number, it's John Kayak. My last name isn't really Kayak,
I know.
and your name isn't really Kayak either. I don't want people thinking we're married because I don't have the money to get out of a common law.
Oh, snap. You don't
Right?
get to divorce me.
Like, okay, ever.
Nobody gets to divorce me.
We were never married.
Yeah.
Apparently we're the Kayaks.
That made me laugh a lot. That was funny.
I'll be
Oh,
safe,
man.
y'all. Thank you for the entertainment.
Absolutely.
And as soon as I got information, I'll be able to take it in and show it to some folks.
Okay.
And I'll hopefully see you after Monday instead of getting shot somewhere between now and then.
Okay, be careful.
Be safe. A pen. Alice's Country House, Wilson River Highway, Tillamook, Oregon. Oh, very cool. Oh, uh, pretty alright, still breathing. I figured I'd go up to Corner Market or Center Market or whatever it was called while these youngins are busy having fun in the parking lot and fucking off. I was young once. I figure there's got to be a place for them to bury their steam, and if it's not here, it's probably a mud pit out in the country.
Where's your car? Oh.
It's over there looking ugly, as always. I figure I'll go get myself a coffee at the Center Market and then come back, and hopefully it's late enough that everybody's done fucking around. Usually around 2 o'clock in the evening on Saturday and Sundays when they finally get done honking and hooting and hollering and trying to make girls scream and squeal. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
On the bright side, every time I get out of my vehicle going, I really hope it's just some kids fucking around and not somebody doing something fucked up. Most of the time it's kids fucking around, which makes it easy.
Oh yeah.
I get out and I stare at them like an angry parrot. Don't make me chase after you with my walker. Good night, yo. Well, I suppose I am going to take the time now to tell you all what the highlight of my day was. I was in the grocery outlet bargain market here in Tillamook, Oregon, and I was walking through one of the aisles, and I was trying to be patient. This young woman was obviously with her grandmother and was doing shopping with her grandmother, and she handed me a flower petal. She come up to me. A lot of kids do this, and I try to dissuade it, but if they're being kind, I try to be as kind as I can back, and not make them feel like they can follow me around the store or anything, but to be at least welcoming. Anyway, so she gave me a flower petal, and then she wanted to insist that I take an entire flower. And then she said, oh, I want to give that to my mom. I was like, well, you better take it and give it to your mom. But I saved the flower petal, and it was a very nice interaction. And I was very glad for the kindness. See, she hadn't been taught that everybody's horrible yet. Anyway, I better get up to the Center Market. I get the feeling spending all that money to help out Candace kind of really screwed me on the food stamps as far as long term goes, but at least I got enough to get me through half the month. as long as I'm real frugal about it, and as long as I can find a place where I can cook, which isn't likely to happen. The money that I do have left needs to go to like gas and shit like that, and other bills and expenses. I still need to fix the phone from when Robert Franklin Mornick assaulted me. The cops did everything that they could to prevent me from getting that phone fixed and from turning in Mornick. Because it would have been their asses too. A lot of people want to tell me things like, oh, Sean, you can't make people come forward. You're right, I can't. And they can't make me shut up. It would have been better if they'd have been honest from the beginning and told the truth from the beginning, instead of making me post it on the internet. In the long run, that's not going to make me look bad. It's going to make all of you look bad, because I did the things that I had to do out of desperation to protect my friends and family. What that was going to take was being able to turn in my predators without being threatened, harassed, or intimidated by cops. When a cop tries to redirect you repeatedly by interrupting what you're saying and trying to change the subject, he's fucked. When you're a disabled or at-risk adult, he's committing some very serious crimes at that point. When they ship you out of jurisdiction for trying to turn them in, or put you on suicide watch to try to prevent you from turning them in, or lie to mental health professionals and say you were attempting to kill yourself, trying to reach for their firearm and a suicide by cop. Meanwhile, they put you into situations where you don't have the means to record it. That makes it their word versus yours, and this cannot be allowed to happen. This cannot be tolerated, and yet it is. Now, that young lady today, it was just a single flower petal, and she asked me her name, or she asked me my name, and I did tell her my name. I did not ask her what her name is, but she told me anyway. She's got the same name as one of my favorite people on the whole planet. Who also happens to be somebody I don't talk to anymore. But it's alright. People who are hurt people. The people who hurt me were hurting themselves. I listened to them when they told me about their pain, but it was hard to get them to listen to me. When I did tell them about my pain, it's like they forgot every word that came out of my mouth. Now, as far as the human trafficking goes here, yeah, there's a lot of people who know exactly which officers are involved in this, and I got some of that written down, but how do I get somebody to listen to it? There's that girl Elizabeth here or Liz, I guess was her name. She was human trafficked here, and she ended up dead before she was able to go to court. Overdosed on fentanyl. She was trying to tell on two of the officers here. Now, that situation with that witness is actually recorded on this YouTube channel. There's about 6 of them overall. 6 different witnesses talking about the situation with the Tillamook Police Department in specific. can't have a situation like that with the police department unless the sheriff's department is involved. That's one of the scary things, is that they'll wipe each other's backs. There's a lot of times where, in order to inflate the numbers, they'll have state patrol, as well as the sheriff's department and the police department all there while they're breaking the law. Then all three of them get to pretend that they all had 3 different incidents with homeless people that day. Meanwhile, when they do that shit to an at-risk adult, such as a homeless person with severe mental issues like they did to Dean there in Hood River, the caseworker is supposed to be there. The person from the Department of Health and Human Services is supposed to be there to make sure the proceedings go down properly. That lady didn't even get out of her fucking car. She was from the mid-something or other Center for Living. See, instead of calling adult protective services like they're legally obligated to, they send you to one of these places. It's similar to Tillamook Family Counseling. They're not following the procedures. They're pretending that these places that aren't doing what APS is supposed to do or social workers are supposed to do. And these are who the sheriff's departments and police departments are sending us to when we're abused. And it gets us sent in a magic ring around the fucking rosy bullshit. We never get anything fucking accomplished. There's a limited amount of time to get this done in. And what these fucking people do, all of these mandated reporters send you in fucking circles for literally years, unless you have a friendly member who actually cares about you. But your friends or family have to show that they care about you by fucking showing up. If they don't show up to court, they don't show up to explain to the police what's going on, well, your predators automatically win. And you get to see in my situation where predators who didn't know me or Natalie or a goddamn thing about the situation have been heavily involved in long-term abuse against me. And that's not fucking okay. All of this abuse is because of gaslight by fucking drug addicts. On the bright side, there is coffee. God, these people need to learn how to park. That thing is huge. I guess I had to make this one private for some people's safety. I'll do that as soon as I'm done with the video, I guess. I can keep that information, at least the source, quasi-secret. I don't trust anybody who keeps secrets. Don't trust an adult who wants you to keep secrets. But when it comes to human trafficking, I can keep her name secret as long as she's able to come forward, give me the information that I need to turn these people in. I do have to try to find my friend Eric Hero. I guess he did call his mother on his birthday. That was quite a while ago though, and he's been missing for. Oh, sorry, sir. He's been missing since 2019, off and on. Hey, sir. I think you're right. Yes, coffee. No, it's 12 ounce. Oh, you're right. Like 12 ounce, 16 ounce, and 20 ounce. It was just telling me what the coffee prices are. I thought you'd ring me up for more than one. There it goes. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was me. Well, I now have all of the tools I need for working with clay, except for a place to do it. I've got a lot of different tools for a lot of different projects. I just don't have a place to do it. Y'all got all these great and wonderful ideas. Do those work in parking lots? Do they work in the library? No, they actually don't. Thank you for the suggestion, but please try to understand why your suggestions don't work. Why, just because you have made a suggestion does not mean that a person is capable. On the bright side, I got coffee. I got tools I know how to use, and most of them I'm capable of using. The sledgehammer that I have, I won't be able to use that, or the double-headed axe. The double-headed axe, I can grind off one of the sides of it almost completely. I'll leave just enough of it to try to use it as a Delabra. Basically like a fireman's axe. / pickaxe. Although it's not going to have the pickaxe part of it. It'll just have the pick on the back and the axe on the front. Whereas a Delabra actually had, instead of the axe this way, it was turned this way. It was a hoe on one side and a pick on the other. Later iterations and modern restorations have basically made it so that it's a fireman's axe with some special folds in it, which they really weren't. It was, well, it would have been useful as a tool for digging a hole, for digging a trench. It would have also been useful in battle. The Romans were real big on everything having more than one use. I'm pretty big on that too. Let's see if I've got an email address on this card that I can send stuff to. There is. Headlight reporter at countrymedia.net. Those of you who hate me, you can get on there and you can send all of your hate stuff to them too. The horrible stuff that you've been going through and doing what my friends didn't want to do, which is go through the evidence. You guys, I know you go through and you find the parts where you can pretend I'm some sort of a horrible person because you finally got me to react to your abuse. Well, no. I've been reacting to it for quite a while now. Speaking up about how horrible it is. I've also been fighting for the rights of a lot of people who are not me. I've been fighting for the rights of women, even though I'm not a woman. I've been fighting for the rights of heterosexuals, even though I'm not heterosexual. I've been fighting for the rights of homosexuals, despite the fact that I'm not a homosexual. I've been fighting for the rights of black people, despite the fact that I'm not black. I'm also told that everything is my fault because I'm white and because I'm a male. Too hot. Ooh, fuck, too hot. Whose fault is it? Mine for drinking. I knew it was too hot. I knew I just fucking poured it. Anyway, I also have a car full of food, tools, a lot of household cleaners and stuff like that. Like I got vinegar and I got baking soda. Obviously, I'm not going to mix those two together. Obviously, if I did, it's not some situation that's going to kill me. It's just vinegar and baking soda. It'll make a lot of suds. It's really cool looking. But neither one of those are for mixing together. It doesn't do me any good to have vinegar that's been destroyed by making a cool experiment. If I was going to do something like that, just a little bit of baking soda is all it takes. And just a little bit of vinegar is all it takes. There's the elephant toothpaste thing, and that's kind of cool looking, but it's not as cool with baking soda. You can do it as long as you put it in a beaker, but a beaker has a wide base and it goes up into a gooseneck. It's just a tiny hole at the top, so it basically has to force all of that pressure up through a smaller hole. It's called a bottleneck. I'm going back to where I was. I might start working on a project, even though it's not safe to do so. When you have to work on something in somebody else's parking lot, a lot of times they'll get angry because you're trying to destroy their property value. Shit, lucky motherfucker, you got land. That land right there is the key to having rights. Otherwise, you're constantly subservient. The biggest issue with most Americans is they can't afford to buy any property from greedy conglomerates. You can't afford to buy a farm because a big farm like Seaboard isn't going to let you. Once they've acquired that land, they aren't going to give it up, no matter how many people die, because they don't have any land of their own. Meanwhile, there is a lot of acreage here in the United States. A lot of it. There's enough acreage in America that if we gave a plot of land with an equal share of just the inhabitable land here in America, most people would not see another human being unless they went out actively searching for another human being. far as sharing with the animals, yeah, that's something we should be doing. We should be working closely with nature. We should be teaching our kids how to wipe their ass. And we should be teaching them that wood comes from a fucking forest, not from a goddamn lumber yard. Now, when it comes to Christian, when I said that I make sure that I record when Christian's involved, I do make sure that's the truth. I do make sure that when I see him, I do record. I don't want to have any potential issues if he does have a major issue or a major breakdown. And if he is having a bad night, whether he's on something or not, I want to make sure that he is at least somewhat safe, whereas he won't be safe if it's just him. He'll be easy to target. And even if he's on drugs, that is still not okay to do to a person. Well, I better slow down and drive slower than the speed limit. With that bar look like they're a bit tipsy and wobbly. There's also a lot of homeless people here who told me that their camp was a good camp and it was a safe camp. And within a month of telling me that, they ended up having their camp raided. What I mean by having their camp raided, I don't mean that homeless people came through and stole their shit, because we come to expect that out here. It's when you think that your camp is safe because the cops aren't messing with you, and then the cops come through and mess with you, and the guy who made it a pig pen moves back in. There's a woman here named Jennifer, and that was her biggest bitch. They cleared out, you remember that part, not that any of you guys have been watching my channel that long, but you remember that part when I first came to Tillamook over by the park that was just off the railroad tracks? Yeah, well, Jennifer and her boyfriend cleaned that entire fucking piece of shit area up. They cleaned up that massive pile of shit, and they made basically what looked like a little miniature house, like a little, how you would imagine a gingerbread house out in the woods, except small. And of course, it wasn't really a house, it was her tent. Today I was going to spend $20 on a tent that I was told, hey, you know, they're pretty big and they've got them down there at the grocery outlet. 20 bucks is fucking huge. But I got there and it turns out that they're not actual tents, they're beach tents. So they're completely open on one side. It makes it so you can't zip it up and the wildlife can get in and fucking creep on you. And all it takes is you open up one can of fucking beans and have just a little bit of a stink of beans at the bottom. Excuse me, folks, it's after hours. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
What's that
How'd you get
movie?
This is the card for
We the Millers or something? Or
Tillamook Headlight Herald, Will Chappell,
yeah.
reporter.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not as glamorous a name as Lois Lane, but we can't all be Superman.
God, I could just squeeze right in the middle of there. Huh? No?
I think you'd get a stick shift up the backside.
Can I get in the middle of that?
If you got in the middle, they would have to shift gears by you twerking.
Oh no, it's like a short shift. So.
Oh, ow. You'd have to do a lot of twerking.
So does O'Reilly's just do store credit?
Alright, well, I'm going to park at my usual spot. Be safe. I'll pretend to. Oh, and it's the young guy that doesn't talk much working tonight. Alright, well, we got some of my electronics slightly charged up. I got one of my external batteries here. What the hell, why is it only at 18%? Why isn't it charging up anymore? It's been at 18% for a couple of hours. This one right here has been flashing 1 bar for quite a while now. There should be 1 more. Good one. Buried under all this shit. Well, that one's bleeping on the 3rd bar, so it's actually charging up. Maybe if I trade this one with this one, perhaps it'll charge this up a little better. Maybe the other thing's got a better connection or something. I don't know. trade this one right here with this one right here, and we'll see if it makes a difference. Because this one right here, it keeps beeping on and off on me when I plug it into my phone. We'll see if it's still doing that now. Alright, well. Actually, I don't feel like fucking around with it anymore. Not having a place to do the things that you want me to do. And then getting victimized because I don't have a place to do it. You've got these great ideas that all require a place to do it safely. Being stuck in subservient environments, I have to readjust my schedule whenever the person who owns a place wants to change their mind. The problem is they should have done that before. Changing their mind would screw me over. And when they change their mind over and over and over again, just so that we end up doing what they want, which is absolutely fucking useless, yeah, no, I'm not going to have any respect for them.